So my previous video, my first ever video actually, was discussing the controversial brick-built horses in the new Horse Knights 3-in-1 LEGO set. Now I know my view about it was definitely a minority one, in the sense that I personally don't have a problem with the brick-built horses, but the longer I thought about it after posting the video and reading the comments, my opinion has actually changed. Now my position was that for a 9 and up 3-in-1 creator set was, in tradition, perfectly in line with how LEGO does things in the past, in that all animals are brick built for 1, to save on overall costs of the set, and 2, to encourage breaking the set down and rebuilding it in an imaginative way, hence the entire premise of the 3-in-1 creator line. But here's where my problem lies with the set, and that is that it had a jousting build option. So to have a joust orientation that heavily relies on horses as the pinnacle of the build, to have something brick built that you almost have to do a double take on to even realize that it's a horse is questionable and quite frankly rough. Again, I am definitely taking into account that the 3-in-1 line is less display oriented and more to encourage building and play features, so much so that my first ever video on this channel was telling off those who had problems with it. Look, if I was a 10-year-old kid, I would 110% rather have an actual horse, because it's basically a minifigure, and honestly just looks more professional and less toy-like, and better than having this wonky little thing that's probably going to fall apart when you're playing with it and have pieces fall off it anyway. Especially being that we don't have an official castle line anymore and horses are basically non-existent in LEGO sets currently, it would definitely be beneficial to all of us if there were molded horses, because I'm definitely just trashing these horses as soon as I get this set, because that would look horrendous next to, say, like a Lion Knight's castle or my medieval town square. And I think I speak for all of us when I say I don't want half of my army to have brick-built horses and half to have molded horses. I mean, seriously, the first ever LEGO faction to have a horse signet and be called the Horse Knights literally has no actual horses in it. This is kind of wild, LEGO, and the only way you can get out of this for me personally is if there is a future full 18 plus joust set that LEGO teased in the medieval town square tapestry painting, because then I'd say, okay, they made this one look toy-like to really put an emphasis on how good the 18 plus one is that may or may not be coming out. So they held back in this 3-in-1 set. And there is some evidence to support this theory that there might be a future joust set, but that's talk for another time. Again, I really like the set. I'm not turning completely, because I think people who are complaining about the build not having masonry bricks is just kind of absurd, knowing it's a creator 3-in-1 set. And I also think the minifigure selection, having 6 total minifigures with 2 new factions, new printings, is pretty awesome at $125 price point compared to the previous $100 Falcon Castle, which literally only had like 2 Falcon soldiers and a peasant in it. So it definitely does have redeeming qualities, in my opinion, that still currently make it work. But, and this is a big but, LEGO, no one wants these brick-built horses. And since you price them on a pick-a-brick at about $5 a piece, if you would save the pieces from the brick-built horses and add 2 molds and say sell this for $130, $135, I don't think you would have any room for complaints except people who are probably not even going to buy this set regardless. So there you go. That's my opinion. Just wanted to be upfront and right or wrong on my behalf. Let me know what you think. Am I dumb for thinking this? Am I being too toxic? You tell me. And if you're interested in more, be sure to subscribe to see more future LEGO Castle and Pirate content.